For decades, people have enjoyed the Pocono Mountains and waters. In fact, it's been almost 200 years since the first boarding house hotel opened in the Water Gap. Over all this time, businesses also have found their way to the Poconos and have made this a top destination for angling, skiing, paddling, biking, and yes, for car racing and water parks too, all in the context of a forested landscape through which run some of the best water in the Poconos. But the region is at a crossroads. The region is asking itself, how much environmental protection is enough? And just how clean should our water really be? The exceptional value of our Pocono waters is being challenged. We understand that environmental regulations are often a compromise ensuring that both our environment and our economies thrive. And when it comes to these highest quality waters of our state, a mere 2% of all waters in the Commonwealth, we have to ensure that the highest protections are afforded them. Degradation is not acceptable because we want to keep the region and our Pocono waters as special for future generations as it has been for us and our predecessors here. Degradation is not acceptable because intact forests and stream systems and undisturbed hydrologies will be our best defense against climate disruption and extreme weather events. Degradation is not acceptable because we know it's possible for economies to thrive alongside exceptional environmental conditions, including clean water.
So I'm sure you've all heard a lot about up here stream redesignations or redesignation petitions. We have a number of them going on our streams up here, trying to upgrade the stream designations from high quality to exceptional value in many cases. So each water in Pennsylvania has both an existing use and a designated use. An existing use is those waters or those uses actually attained in the water body after 1975, whether or not they're included in the water quality standards. So a designated use, on the other hand, is actually the use that's part of the water quality standards established by the Commonwealth. So designated uses are sometimes thought of as desired uses or something like a water quality goal, especially in those cases where the water quality of the stream may be below that necessary to meet that desired goal. And the differences in protecting existing uses versus designated uses are that because the designated uses are part of the water quality regulations, people can petition to either upgrade or, in some extremely rare cases, downgrade the designated uses, and that's where you get the redesignation petitions. However, existing uses shall be maintained and protected. There is no way to upgrade or downgrade it. It is what it is. It's the use that has actually been attained in the water. So Pennsylvania recognizes that a stream may have attained some uses that require more stringent water quality criteria, they've had existing uses, than the designated use would afford. So in a case where the designated use is high quality but the existing use is exceptional value, then the stream will be protected to the exceptional value level.
We had to act proactively here because of the perceived threats that were going on statewide, particularly with Marcellus Shale. So that's how the program began. That's how the idea began. What we did, to make a long story short, is we really learned how to use the GIS really well. We were able to prioritize where we should be sampling, and we basically have partnered with anywhere from 9 to 16 or so universities and conservation groups to do sampling every single year. And the idea is to try to find out which basically any of these waters, what is contained in them, and if they have wild trout, that automatically triggers a certain amount of protection. What that does right away is it automatically qualifies a stream for cold water fishes protection in that Chapter 93. It could also qualify for special protection depending on the abundance of the population found and some other criteria if it's also found there. The most powerful thing it does is if a stream has a wild trout population, it qualifies for exceptional value in Chapter 105. Chapter 105 controls wetlands in the state of Pennsylvania, and the wetlands are exceptional value. That has been a big tool for us to prevent industries such as Marcellus Shale and coal mining industry from operating in particular sensitive areas.
Well, one challenge that you face when you're trying to determine whether you've got a high-quality system is that when you're looking at it in this one-by-one chance, you're trying to look, okay, I can look and determine what the nitrate levels are. I can look and see what the concentration of lead is. But I have to know what I'm looking for, right? And then I can find it. The problem is that there can be things that can be causing problems in your stream system, contaminating it, and if you don't know what you're looking for ahead of time, you can't find it. Fortunately for us, the biological organisms are going to know. They're going to be impacted by those degradations. And so one of the things we often use, and I can talk about why we do that as opposed to looking at fish primarily all the time, is macroinvertebrates, which are primarily insects, insects during a stage that are living in the water. And one tool that we use is that these different groups, the taxa, the types of insects, are more or less sensitive to environmental degradation. Some of them are very, very sensitive indeed. Others could probably backstroke through sewage and be doing okay. And so you simply can look at it and see, well, what proportion of them are the ones that are environmentally sensitive? In other words, they can really tell if they are very sensitive, and you see a lot of those species, a lot of those taxa in an area, then you can assume that the waters you're dealing with are very good quality. If you see ones that are primarily very tolerant of lots of pollution, if you don't see the sensitive species, then you may realize that something is going on here, that there's something that's contaminated in those waterways. And of course, you've got everywhere in between. You've probably heard the idea of a canary in a coal mine, right? Okay. So again, if you're thinking about these, if you're a miner, you're trying to deal with a situation where you've got an odorless, colorless gas that might be able to kill you, and you don't have more advanced technology, if you take a creature that is more sensitive than you are to that particular toxin, right, and you bring them along with you, if you look over and see Tweety's not having a good day, it's time to get out of the mine, right? And we're really doing the same thing. And that's the basic quick primer on what those bioindicators are used for.
Does an exceptional value stream designation prohibit or prevent commercial or residential development along the stream banks, and they have in parentheses riparian zones, and/or in the EV watershed?
I'll take a stab at that. No, it doesn't prevent it. Can you build right up to the water edge? No. There are setbacks. I don't know that they come with the EV designation. We had the Michael Creek Stormwater Management Ordinance was either in place slightly before or slightly after the EV designation took place. We use conservation subdivision practices in the township and other unique ways of looking at a site, taking out the constrained lands. Currently, right now, our Conservation District Board, Adam, had just sponsored a tour down to Lancaster to look at different ways to dispose of stormwater runoff, where you could actually get less retention area, thereby having more land for the actual development purposes. How that's going to go yet? I mean, Lancaster's slightly different than here, obviously. But I think the thing is, you can't walk in and just, here's the cookie cutter, as they always say, here's how we got to do it. Each site is different, and if you use a little bit of common sense and work through it, it's amazing what you can